A few years after Audrey Hilley poisoned her husband, she started to do the same to her daughter. However, she was unsuccessful at getting rid of her daughter, and that eventually led to her capture. Audrey was born in Anniston, Alabama in 1933 and eventually married her high school sweetheart Frank in 1951. They had their son Michael in 1952 and their daughter Carol in 1960. Audrey and Carol had a strained mother and daughter relationship at best. In the 70s, Frank was overcome by a mysterious illness and ended up passing away shortly after. The doctors assumed that it was hepatitis and he was buried without any further questions. A similar illness affected Carol in 1979. She was quickly hospitalized. Frank's family became suspicious because Audrey was treating her very similarly and giving her medicine outside of the doctor's orders. Michael, Carol's brother, had contacted the hospital and they said that they did not authorize that. That led Michael to contact the Anniston Police Department, who said that Audrey, his mother, was already being investigated for bad checks. Audrey was arrested and Carol was moved to another hospital to have a toxicology report. Even though she was surviving, it was shown that Carol had high levels of arsenic in her body. Her dad's body was exhumed and the same results came back for him as well. Making this more suspicious, Carol had put out a $25,000 life insurance policy out for her daughter. At the same time, Frank's sister actually found a medicine bottle containing arsenic in Audrey's home. That was given to police. She was indicted for Frank and the attempt on Carol's life, with the police suspecting that she had also done this to numerous other people. After being arrested, she made bail on November 18, 1979. Her defense attorney got her a hotel, in which he would later find a note written about how she had gotten taken. The police cross-examined the handwriting and found that Audrey had written the note herself. They pursued her with no luck. In 1983, Keene, New Hampshire police began investigating a case of identity fraud. Audrey was moonlighting as a woman named Terry Martin, who was supposedly the identical twin sister of a woman named Robbie Holman. What she had been doing for the past 4 years was creating an elaborate ruse. She married a man named John from Fort Lauderdale and moved to New Hampshire in 1980. At the time, she was going by the identity of Robbie. She made friends and worked a job. In 1982, she told John that she had to return to her home state of Texas to receive treatment for a rare disease. John ended up getting a call from a woman named Terry Martin who claimed to be Robbie's identical sister, saying that Robbie had passed away. She also claimed that Robbie's last wish was for Terry to come up and see her husband. Terry eventually moved in with John. John apparently fell for the twin sister story, even though the only difference between Terry and Robbie was blonde hair and different makeup. Robbie's former co-workers did not when Terry came to tell them the news, and they contacted the police. Terry, aka Audrey, also put a fake obituary into the newspaper. Police arrested Audrey, to which she confessed to everything that she had done. She was extradited back to Alabama and found guilty on all charges. She was given a life sentence plus an additional 20 years. One day, in February 1987, she earned a 3-day pass to get out of jail. On the last day, she decided to make a run for it. And only days later, Audrey was spotted crawling across a porch in the Blue Mountain area. Paramedics were called, and before they could get her to the hospital, she passed away from hypothermia.